the FBI made significant revisions to its statistics on violent crime without any kind of public announcement. An Iranian factory tied to a nuclear weapons program goes up in flames. CBS News is accused of deceptively editing another interview, this time with Speaker Mike Johnson, and the return of the Victoria's Secret fashion show included not one, but two transgender models. Gross. We'll get into all of that and your quick hits right now. What's up, guys? Welcome to the wrap-up, where we break down the biggest stories of the week that you might have missed but need to know. I'm your host, Amanda. The Federal Bureau of Investigation quietly made revisions to its statistics on violent crime for 2022 and decided to do so without any explanation or any kind of public announcement. The New York Post reported that the FBI's 2023 press release stated that according to national crime data, quote, national violent crime decreased an estimated 1.7% in 2022 compared to 2021 estimates. But an update was discovered on the FBI's website this week. This change was reported by Real Clear Investigations. The vague, nondescript message RCI found on the site read, quote, the 2022 violent crime rate has been updated for inclusion in CIUS 2023. The update revealed that instead of a decrease in violent crime year over year, there was actually a whopping 4.9% increase from 2021 to 2022. The FBI's revised numbers show there were over 80,000 more violent crimes in 2022 versus 2021. This includes murders, assaults, rapes, as well as over 33,000 more robberies and over 37,000 more aggravated assaults. Unfortunately, this isn't a standalone case. You may remember that another government agency, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, drastically overestimated the amount of jobs created during the reporting period by 818,000. Ladies and gentlemen, government bureaucracy, where everything's made up
and the points don't matter.
Earlier this week, in Iran's capital, Tehran, a massive fire erupted in the Shahbaz steel and iron market. The manager of Tehran's fire department confirmed to the Islamic Republic news agency that the explosions were caused by gas cylinders and glue barrels stored improperly at the market. While 3 people were killed in the blaze, the regime's media scrambled to downplay the incident, claiming injuries were minor and treated on site. It's been speculated that the market could be linked to Iran's nuclear weapons program. IntelliTimes, an Israeli intelligence research center, reported that the 2 factories affected were engaged in the production of chips for parts of centrifuges and valves that can be used by Iran's nuclear industry. While Israel has not claimed responsibility for the blaze, it wouldn't be the first time that Israel targeted the assembly line of Iran's nuclear program. The television channel Iran International discovered earlier this year that a secret Iranian nuclear facility had been destroyed by an Israeli operation. Iran intentionally hid the story. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson has blasted CBS News for heavily editing his recent interview on Face the Nation. While Speaker Johnson interviewed for a total of 15 minutes, 5 minutes of his responses were cut from the final version that went to air. Host Margaret Brennan questioned Johnson on topics including disaster relief and election integrity. While it is common for major networks to edit and condense interviews in order to meet time constraints, one can't help but notice the selections made by the network. Take a look.
You know that it is against the law for non-citizens to vote in federal elections. That's established law.
Of course it is. Of course it is. But here's the problem. There's a number of states that are not requiring proof of citizenship when illegals or non-citizens register to vote. We know that's happening.
But respectfully, Speaker,
everybody should want the law to be followed.
You know that it is against the law for non-citizens to vote in federal elections. That's established law.
Of course it is. Of course it is. But here's the problem. There's a number of states that are not requiring proof of citizenship when illegals or non-citizens register to vote. We know that's happening. Look, Glenn Youngkin in Virginia, I was going to say, he issued an executive order to clean up their voting rolls heading into the election. Less than 30 days out, a couple of days ago, the Biden administration, Department of Justice, Biden-Harris administration, sued the governor in the Commonwealth of Virginia to try to prevent them from cleaning up their voter rolls. See, that kind of thing creates a lot of doubt and concern in the minds of a lot of the American people. Why would they do that? Everybody should want the law to be followed. Yeah.
Johnson's claim comes after another CBS News program, 60 Minutes, was accused of editing an interview with Kamala Harris that aired on October 8th to cast her in a more favorable light. So, what do you think? Malicious or just a network trying to make cuts for time? After a 5-year break, the infamous Victoria's Secret fashion show returned, hosting the event in Brooklyn on Tuesday evening. But for the first time since its launch in 1995, the show included 2 trans-identifying male models. Yikes! The Daily Wire reported that a spokesperson for Victoria's Secret said the company's goal for the show was to deliver precisely what our customers have been asking for, all through a powerful, modern lens reflecting who we are today. But I can't imagine customers were asking for men to parade around in women's underwear. Hopefully, they had enough fabric to cover their secrets. It's time for your quick hits. Vivian Kubrick, daughter of the late film director Stanley Kubrick, has given the Trump campaign her blessing to use clips from her father's Vietnam War film, Full Metal Jacket. Josh Sider, a former contestant on The Bachelorette, has revealed that he pretended to be trans in order to expose the absolute lunacy on the left. Sider said, quote, "I faked being a faker. I pretended to be a pretender." A British street preacher was arrested outside of Bristol University earlier this week for saying these 2 horrifying facts. 1, that the Christian God is different from Allah. And 2, that God created people as male and female. In yet another testament to the failures of America's public school system, a young anti-Zionist Gen Z girl tore down what she thought were Israeli flags at a local Euro shop. But they were not Israeli flags. They were, in fact, Greek flags. Oy vey! The dangerous Venezuelan migrant gang Tren de Aragua has now invaded sections of San Antonio, Texas, taking over at least 4 apartment complexes in the area. As a little bit of a palate cleanser, these clips of Air Force pilots getting their plane assignments might be the most wholesome thing you see this week. That's all we have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you back here next week on The Wrap-Up. Thanks for watching this video. To keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation today.